Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm going to be reviewing the Shot Dart Repointer multi-tool. I've actually already took it out of the box, and the reason why I took it out is because I wanted to show you what it looks like when it's all like that. Now when I first seen a picture of it, it was basically something like that, and I thought, what the heck is that? It looked like something off a rifle, like a sight or something. And then I realized it was a repointing tool. It is really clever how they've designed it though, into such a compact little device like this. And it's not only just a repointing tool, it's also got a broken shaft remover on one part, and it's also got a point sharpener built in. So it does three things in one. And the fact that it's small and compact means it's easily portable. You can put it in your pocket or your dart case, and it is made of really solid metal, so it's got a fair bit of weight to it. This retails for £79.95, which is maybe a little bit expensive, but like I say, it is really neatly made and very clever. And some of the repointing tools are quite expensive anyway. I didn't find it to be the most comfortable to use on the tough to remove points, but that was easily remedied by just putting a piece of cloth over it. But at the same time, it's not any worse than some of the repointers that I've done. It's mainly because with it being so compact, you have no choice really but to hold it somewhere like that. So wherever you hold it, you're going to get kind of some of the edges there, and it's just as well it's got some rounded corners, but I put a piece of cloth on and there was no problem. But we'll show you how it works, and just for the sake of it, I'm going to try and remove some points from a set of Harrow's darts, because we all know how difficult they are. And just have a look at this picture. That's what somebody did to their repointing tool, trying to remove the points from the darts. I think it was a set of Harrow's Dimplex, I think, that he was removing. He's basically just mangled the repointing tool up. It looks like it's been repointed by the Incredible Hulk. I've never seen a repointer in that state after somebody's been... I just imagine and you must have seen the thing bending and that. He carried on. I don't think he still removed the point though. Well, it just makes me laugh seeing that though. But anyway, let's check it out. So on the box, as you can see on the back there, you've got a little QR code. So if you scan that, it'll take you to the video on YouTube from Shot Darts if you need to find out another easier, quick look on how to use it. And you also get the instruction leaflet, which I haven't bothered reading myself because I can pretty much work it all out, but again, all the info's there if you need it. Now, one thing I did notice when I first took it out of the box was that kind of like fell off like that, and I thought, well, it's very clever how they've designed it all to be compact and put together, and but I thought, oh, maybe they should have had something there to stop that sliding, but they have actually. I mean, when you're using it, you've put that back on there. If you just tighten up the screws there a little bit, it doesn't have to be fully tight, but then it stops that sliding. So whether that was how it was designed to be done, I don't know, but there you go. So that's one way to stop that sliding off. But like I say, it's very clever how they've managed to put everything in such a small compact device. So on this side here, you've got a point sharpener. So if you want to get your point sharpened, you just go around there. And on the handle itself, it's got basically all the tools for operating the nuts. So you've got that little hexagonal nut there for them, and then the bigger one there for this section, which you put the barrels of your darts in. But on the handle as well, it's also got a broken shaft remover. So there's one that I broke earlier in true Blue Peter fashion. So all that does is it allows you to get a purchase onto the broken stem and to remove it. You've probably already seen them before, so basically that's what that does. So like I said, it's very clever how they've managed to work everything into little nooks and crannies on such a small device. Now, the advantages of the compact size can also be a little bit of a minus, because you have to have a little bit of a process to operate it. So the first thing you've got to do is, if you're removing a point, you put the dart in there, and there's a little hole there where the point will come through. So it's a bit awkward with them doing it with the camera in the way, but there you can see the points come through. So what I tend to do with most things is I get the point as close to the nose of the dart as I can in the clamp. So that's sitting in the clamp there now, and then you just tighten them up. But what I like about this one is, because the barrel's inside there, you're not putting anything inside the thread on the barrel. Like on some repointers, you will put the thread of the barrel in a little section that comes out, and also when you're pulling it out, if you're getting a really tough to remove point, you may damage the threads. Whereas this one, it's actually pushing the nose of the dart, so you're not going to damage the threads. So when you've got it in there, again, you just put the handle over it, and then you just start turning. These are these shot ripper darts, what I'm removing the points on, and they've come out really easy. So there's the point removed. Now, to replace the point, I'm just going to leave that way for now, and then I'll repoint a set of arrows next, which will be the challenging one. So now you've got to turn the barrel over if you repoint the dart. Now this is where being a compact thing might have a slight disadvantage. You're going to have to handle this, so you may get some of the grease on your fingers, which is also going to remove it from the thread. So you may have to grease it every now and then just to make sure it's all okay. But now you put the barrel the other way and you put the dart in there. So now again, the thread of the barrel is just getting pushed. It's not got anything connected to it, so there's not going to be any damage on the threads of the darts barrel. So now you do the same thing what you do with all repointers, just align the nose of the dart to the point, and there, and then you tighten it on. Now in terms of the comfort, it's not too bad with a dart like this, where the points come off fairly easy, but you will see the fact that it's quite small. So you've got this section pushing into your fingers, and you've got this here, so I guess it could get uncomfortable with a barrel that's tough to remove the points of. So there's that repointed again. So now we know how difficult the arrows ones are, so I'm going to attempt to do an arrows one here. So again, I'm getting it pretty close to the clamp, so that I know from experience of doing arrows barrels before that you need a good tight grip on the point, or you'll just end up turning it. So I'm probably going to tighten it a little bit more than what I did on the others, just to be sure. And already I can feel it. It is a bit harder, but it is turning, so I don't know if I'm just turning the point around in the clamp or whether I'm actually unscrewing in it. Now, yeah, I have actually unscrewed it there, so that didn't do too bad at all really, considering how difficult some of them are on some repointers. So it's certainly managed it okay. I don't know why the Harrow's points are always in so tight, but it kind of looks, I don't know if you can see, it almost looks like there's something on the point. I don't know, it's like a, I don't know what it is, to be honest, but there's like a mark there. Whether they put some kind of like glue in it or something. I just don't really know. What I'm going to do next then is I'm going to put some 50mm points on these Harrow's barrels and then see what happens. I forgot what was I saying then. So obviously it's going to be hard to put such a long point in there, so I think you'll have to open up the clamp a little bit more to be able to get it in. But I think when people are using the other kind of repointers, the ones that have got the like bars which go along that, and when they're using a difficult to remove point, especially on the Harrows, I think what's happening is, because it's only got the thin bars either side, you're clamping in the point there and then you're turning it. But I think what is happening is, because they're so tough to remove, I think you're twisting the whole machine, and by twisting it, it's probably also putting pressure on the point that way as well, so it's probably making the point even more difficult to come out, and that's probably why people have such a struggle with them. But when you've got a repointer like this, where the body is a solid piece of metal, it's all like one piece, then there's less twistiness. So in theory, I think it's probably better for such dart points like that, the ones that are difficult to remove. Yeah, it's gone fine off that. So that went in pretty easy actually for a Harrow's barrel, and like I say, from experience, I often find them to be the hardest, and a lot of people, other people have mentioned the same. So that is basically how it works. Now, like I say, for a compact device, it is really cleverly designed and it does everything perfectly fine. But like I said, you may have some issues with some barrels and the fact that it's fairly compact. It depends on how strong your fingers are as well. But it did that fine, so it's done it no problem. So for what it is, it works perfectly well, and quite a fantastic little device actually. But I would say that if you're going to be doing this sort of thing with difficult darts a lot, you may want to get a bigger machine, one that you might get a bit more leverage from. But anything else, it'd be more than capable, and it's done them fine. So there you go. So that is it. That's the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.